Hey, great Monday night, everybody. It is Dr. Anissa Short. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Chosen Pen. As usual, I am so excited and extremely delighted that you chose to carve out time tonight to hang out with us in this space. Once again, we got a fabulous guest. But before we meet her and you learn everything there is to know about her, I want to share something with you that we've got going on. You probably already know because you're smart. You've already peeped the information on Chosen Pen's website and or Chosen Pen's Facebook page, but Chosen Pen in conjunction with New Life Bible Fellowship of America is hosting a literary and lifetime achievement awards gala on December 7th. You guys, at that event, a red carpet formal affair, we are celebrating the literary contributions of authors who have been nominated. Some will be receiving special recognition as a result of that. And in addition to that, we are going to be issuing out, or people will be receiving, the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards because of their contributions to our community or to their community. Listen, this is not just a local thing. Although we will be here in the city of Fayetteville, we have people coming from other cities and other states, and we are extremely excited about it. Now, I don't want you to miss it. If you live in the Fayetteville area, we want, as I sometimes say, lottie dottie everybody to be in attendance, right? Grab your finest gear and come on out. Now, let me give you a little breakdown of how that day is going to go. That morning at 9 a.m., if you are an author or a publisher or in the industry, we would love for you to join us for a breakfast. Now, there's limited seating for this breakfast that begins at 9 a.m., but you can be there and you will be not only fed some real good food, but we are going to have Cyrus Webb. He is an Amazon influencer, literary publicist. Listen, if you are very familiar with him, you already know how he built a six-figure business. Very humble, very giving young man from the state of Mississippi. He's serving as our master of ceremony for the event, but he's going to be facilitating that workshop on Saturday. So you don't want to miss it. You're going to have an opportunity to be in his space, learn from the master. You know, as I say, he's the expert and he's the sensei, and we're just the students. And so he's going to be facilitating a workshop that Saturday morning. So 9 a.m. The registration for the breakfast is $30. Seats are limited. It's open to authors, anyone in the publishing arena, or anyone who might be a part of the media community. We want you to come out and hang out with us that Saturday morning, 9 a.m. till noon. Then the gala itself, the doors open at 5 p.m. And we will be there for a red carpet mingle between 5 and 6. And then we'll go to the auditorium where we will have our gala. Again, it's a red carpet, formal attire. We're going to have some food, some entertainment. And during that time, authors will be recipients of an award based on their genre. There are several that have been nominated. Everyone can't take home the grand prize, but we will have a celebratory occasion just the same. And in addition to that, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Awards recipients. I believe we had 10 nominated for that award. And so we're excited about extending the award to them during that evening. And as I said before, we're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have some food. It's going to be a great networking opportunity. Again, if you are an author, if you love an author, if you are related to an author, if you desire to be an author, we want you to come out, especially if you live in the city of Fayetteville. Get your tickets now. They are available at chosenpen.com/literary gala. If you've got questions, you always can reach out to us at chosenpen.com, and we'll be more than happy to address those concerns. But listen, the day is December 7th. Right here in Fayetteville, everything you need to know in order to participate is right there on the website. Hey, Miss ESP, Miss Southern, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So without further ado, I want you all to meet my new best friend. She is from my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. It is just amazing how things work out. Dr. Terri is here in the house with us. And I'm excited to have her talking about her newest book. Let me just show you what it looks like so we can just jump right in. Whispering in the Dark. It's actually her memoir. And of course, it has attained Amazon bestseller status. We're excited about that. You can secure a copy of this book on Amazon. It has with it the ebook version. It has the paperback version. And of course, she has a complimentary or companion piece in by way of a journal. And I'm excited to have had the opportunity to work with her on this project. And we're excited to have her here today. So Dr. Terri, Thank you so much for saying yes to the invitation
Oh,
to be here. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
So tell everybody a little bit about you. Who is Dr. Terri Lane Hunt?
I am, as you said, Dr. Terri Lane Jackson Hunt. I was born and raised in Louisiana. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I am the oldest of five siblings with my mother and my father, Frank and Natalie Jackson. I am a teacher. I am a mentor. I am a pastor over seniors at my church. I am just all over the place, but I'm loving it. I'm enjoying life. Love to travel, love to read, and now I got a new hobby of writing. So I guess that's going to be my new thing, writing, because
Yeah,
I don't
writing
think this
and
one
public
is not
speaking,
good.
even more
And
public
public
speaking,
speaking,
right?
yes,
Dr.
yes.
Terry and I became acquainted. I think we were first introduced latter part of last year when she was looking for someone because she had a mandate to write a book. And we were connected by way of social media. For those of you who say that social media is taboo, you obviously are not living right because you can meet a lot of great people through social media. Dr. Terry and I were connected in that capacity from Facebook, actually. And so Dr. Terry, you decided you were thinking about writing the book. You reached out to us, and I think you had done some homework where you did your research and reached out. You maybe reached out to a few other companies and talked with some other people, and then you landed with Chosen Pen. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, I have went through a couple of people, and everybody wanted to tell me how I should do it. But when I got to you, you asked me how I want it done. You didn't tell me how to do it. You asked me how did I want it done, and you made me know that what I had to say was important, and you wanted to hear it, and you wanted to help me, and you did that from beginning to end, and you always made sure I was uh, in every part of everything that was decided. Everything had my last say. And that made
Yeah,
me feel good because I know it's mine. I know it's my story. Can't nobody tell my story better than I can tell my story.
exactly.
And for that, I'm
Exactly.
grateful and thank you for that.
You're very welcome, Dr. Terry. Here's the thing about us at Chosen Pen. Our role is to serve you, the author. And while we will help you in the process to make sure it shines brightest, is the most excellent representation, it's not for us to tell you to say what you need to, to tell your story. It's for you to tell your story. And that's what you said to me. You said God had given you the instructions that you needed to write the book. And that was not something you were just very open to doing. Why don't you share a little more about that portion of the journey?
Well, I had breast cancer. And during the time of breast cancer, that's a good opportunity for God to shake you up and get whoop your behind and make sure you're listening to what he's saying. And he was telling me that a lot of times I was complaining and whining about different parts of my life that just didn't seem like it was working the way it should be working.
Right.
One moment I thought I was good, and then one moment I just didn't feel like I was so good at what I was doing, where I was doing it. And God said to me that cancer was going to be my breakthrough. Never thought in a million years, didn't even understand what that meant. And during the midst of my recuperating and my time with God, He said, there are going to be some things you desired to do that you never did, and you're going to do some things you started to do that you didn't finish doing. But just know I got you and you're going to be okay. And later on, I went back to school, finished my doctorate degree. And once I did that, I thought I had arrived. So he said, no, the journey just getting started. I want you to tell your story. And I said, wow, how do I do that? It's so much to tell. And he said, just tell your story. I'm going to guide you every step of the way. And as you know, there were times where even the minor things, I said, no, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I don't think God is pleased with that. Let's change that a little bit. Let's tweak
Yeah.
this. Let's tweak that. And to this point and to this day, I am very excited and I don't have no regrets. This book has really, really, really opened doors that I didn't foresee.
Yeah, I
For
love
me,
it. I
for many people.
To be able to work with you was a joy. I think
Thank
we met
you.
almost weekly. We had a few weeks where we skipped, but we met weekly since I think at least February, was it?
Yes,
Because
yes,
because Dr. Terry, when we became acquainted, she knew the story she needed to tell, but she had not really put pen. Well, she did put pen to paper, but we won't go into that because she had pen to a whole lot of paper. She had pen to a whole lot of paper, but it was just putting the pieces together. So what she had done was basically just poured her heart out on paper. And you know, Dr. Terri, one of the jokes I would say is that, Dr. Terri, you have gone into Bible study. This is not. Are we telling a story or are we in Sunday school? You know, so we got to take this part out and change this around. But it was a joy to help you tell your story. And then when we got to the end, well, do you want to share how, let's, for the sake of those who may have a story to tell and are a little apprehensive, because that's where you were at the onset.
Yes.
You knew this was
Yes.
something you needed to do, but you weren't really sure about how to go about it. You knew what
Yes.
you wanted to say, but you know, you also wanted to be considerate of other
Okay.
people who might be a, you know, a factor in it. Talk a little bit about that, because there's someone else who might be in that same place that needs the push to move forward.
Okay. When I decided to write this book, it wasn't a book of revenge or a book of catch back or get back. There are some things that we have in our life that we never dealt with, or some things that has happened in our lives that was very trauma. It may not be trauma for you, but it may be trauma for me. And there are times when you think you're over it and something comes up and trigger it. So
Yeah.
when God told me to write my story, he said that was going to be my breakthrough. And I started thinking about other people, and I started thinking about how this is going to affect this person, how it's going to affect that person.
Hmm.
And it's so easy because I don't care what you do, you're not going to make everybody happy.
Right.
But in this case, my survival depended on it, my
Hmm.
happiness, my freedom. So I asked God, I said, you want me to do this, but help me to do it decent and in order
Hmm.
with elegance.
Hmm.
Allow it to be a tool to help other people, not to
Hmm.
break anybody down, not to beat anybody down, but to let people know it's okay. Let's just
Right.
turn our pain into purpose.
That sounds good.
And that was the whole ideal of this book, to turn my pain, my trauma into purpose.
Right.
And the
Right.
purpose of this book is to help somebody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for allowing me to join you on this journey. I remember when we first started, you had shared some things with me, like you had gone through therapy to overcome some of the things that you had with experienced in life. And then after the book was complete, what did your therapist say to you?
He said, I don't think you need to come back anymore. You're stronger. You're speaking more positive. Your confidence is back. And you're ministering to me now. I think I need to get on the couch. So
It's
it
just
did.
amazing.
Yeah, it did. This book was actually living it. I cried, you guys, for the first 6 months. I know we will get to that point.
I'm
I
not gonna
cried
tell
the
them
first
that.
6 months. Well, I want people to understand it's not going to be easy,
Right.
but I want you to know you can get through it.
Right.
Just put your heart in the right place, your soul in the right place. Allow God to order your steps. Straighten your crown, as my friend Rogenda would say. Straighten that crown, girl. You got this. And
Right.
do what
Right.
it is you have to do.
That's absolutely the truth. Now, I wasn't going to tell them, Dr. Terri, but usually with regards to assisting clients, I've never served in the capacity of a ghostwriter prior to meeting Dr. Terri. That was an assignment given to me, and it just blew me away. So I helped with the writing of the, helping her bring her content together, and she did. She had those meltdown moments, and I was like, okay, Dr. Terri, grab some tissue, but we're not going to stop. We got to push through. We got to push through, kind of like, I guess, like a midwife would do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It hurts, but I don't want you to stop, because I just believe what the word of God says. It says we overcome by the blood of
Yes.
the Lamb and the
Yes.
word of our testimony. And for
Yes.
those of us who are in the Christian community, a lot of times we think about testimony from the standpoint of what you say while you're at church, at a Bible study, or midweek service or whatever, but it's not. It's about you putting a voice to what it is that you have experienced, and
Right.
then being able to say, this is what happened, this is how it felt, this is how it knocked me down, but I got back up. As I
Yes.
said, I fixed my crown, and I'm stronger for it, and if I did it, you can too. And that's really what your book tells us about. That's
Yes.
really what the message is. Would you say that was really part of the objective, and what you actually accomplished? Are you
Yes.
satisfied with that?
Very satisfied. And
Yeah.
if I had to do it all over again, I would do exactly the same thing with
Hmm.
God's leadership, God's guardian, and you right beside me.
Well, it was fun. It was fun for me. it was a joy. But then to know, of course, you were from Memphis. That's where I'm originally from. So the Memphis area is home for me. So I made it's a, and I live in North Carolina for those who may be watching. So just to know that by way of social media, by way of this assignment of being a part of the publishing community, and I was able to connect with someone from my hometown to help them create what it is they desire to create, the assignment, to complete the assignment that had been given to them. And then to know that you allowed me to be a part of your therapeutic process, because this
Mhm.
really was therapy for you. A lot of
Yes,
times
it
people
was.
say writing a book is cathartic. Would you agree with that?
Yes, very much so.
Yep,
It's
yep.
different when you see it on paper.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Now, okay, so the books, we placed your first order and your books came. I know.
I called you. I said, I did it. I did it. We did it. We did
Oh,
it.
and you know what? I want to say congratulations on an outstanding book launch, because before we even had you had book in hand, we did a pre-sale campaign and you had
Yes.
almost 100 orders before the book was even finished. And then you had
Yes.
your book launch. You
Yes.
sold all of those books and had like a waiting list of another 50 orders, I think it was.
68 to be exact.
Oh my goodness. So Dr. Terry, how many books have you sold so far? Now, y'all, this book just launched last month. It hadn't even been, has it been 30 days? I don't think it's been 30
No,
days, has
it
it?
hadn't been 30 days.
So how many books off the top of your head have you sold already?
About roughly, I personally have sold over 300 books. And when I went
Listen,
on Amazon, they've sold quite a few
I
books.
know, right? So since she mentioned Amazon, we're going to go there because I want to read to you all some of the reviews. If you have purchased a book with Dr. Terry, I want you to go on Amazon and leave a review. Please do. But you have received thus far 13 reviews of your books. All 13 people have given you 5 stars. One book from a lady named Araceli says, excellent book. I highly recommend this book. It is well written. The stories are very touching. It will help the lives of many people who are living a life of fear and hurt. It is a must buy. Then there was someone named Delphine Polk who said a must read exclamation point. Dr. Terri Hunt has authored an exceptional book that offers spiritual inspiration and enlightenment. Obtaining the book and journal is highly recommended. While we all face challenges, Dr. Hunt's bravery in sharing her story is remarkably evident. And then there is another, someone named Byrne said, awesome is the caption, 5 stars. Congratulations, Dr. Terri Hunt, on your book. I enjoyed reading the book. I recommend this book to all generations going through difficulties in their life. God hears our whispers. How does it feel, Dr. Terry, to hear these reviews?
So, so, so beautiful. So beautiful. In other words, the book is doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to
Yes.
reach the
Yes.
people. I wanted to help the people. I wanted to make a difference in somebody's life and not wait till they're way up in the age to be able to step out. And then I want
Exactly.
them to know it's okay if one or two people, can't quite understand it. But
Right.
long as it helps you, long as it heals you,
Right. Right.
just know it's going to heal some other people.
Yep.
And
We
since the
have to have
book,
courage to tell our story. You
right,
had the
right,
courage to tell your story. That's even when it didn't feel comfortable,
right.
it pushed you outside your comfort zone. But
Yes, it
because you had
did.
the courage to do it anyway, those who read the book and who have read the book and given, these books are good for Christmas, y'all. Hint, hint, hint. But yes. So what would you want? I don't want to. There's so much about your story that I would like to go into, but I don't want to tell because I don't know how to keep my mouth shut, and I may say too much because I do want them to read the book. But what I will say is this: Dr. Terry did a fantastic job of painting the pictures of her life. Some were pretty bright and vibrant, some were not as bright and vibrant or as pretty, I should say. And then she talked about a personality that she connected with that made a significant difference and changed the trajectory of her life. And because she embraced the advice given to her, she had the tools needed to face additional challenges that she came across. And every step along the way, is it safe to say you evolved? Would that be
Yes, I
good?
did. Yes, very safe. Yes, I did.
Yeah, very safe.
I did.
Okay, good, good, good. What's one last thing you want to offer to people? if let's say there's someone out there saying, I really want to publish my book, I really don't want to, I want to, but I don't want to, I'm a little fearful of telling my story, what advice would you give them, Dr. Terri?
But first of all, I would say it's your story, but it's to be told. Your story is really to help somebody else. And I remember one time my pastor Stacey L. Spencer said to me, everything you go through is not for you. Sometimes you have to go through things for your sister or your brother. But if you don't tell the story, they will never get the gist of what's really going on and they will never heal.
Yeah,
Our testimony is our test or our testimony. Our message or our message. And God never intended for us to hold none of this inside.
yeah, that's
We
good.
go through things to help other people. But if we don't
Right,
tell it, they would not get the help they need. And
right,
just know that in spite of all that you go through, God is still there. God is omnipresent. God is sovereign. And there's nothing we can go through that God won't bring us out. Even if it's our mess, He's going to bring us out. But
right.
He's going to use it for His glory.
If we allow him to. That's absolutely
Yes.
right. You're right. So I don't know if anyone, if we even said this now, but the book has a journal to go along with it. And listen, I got to, because people even gave, I don't know if I've ever read a review on a journal, but they left reviews, Dr. Terri, on your journal. 5 stars. Once again, you have four reviews. And again, if you all have a copy of the book and or the journal, please go on Amazon and leave a review. That would be great. But these, your fans, your fans, your friends and family, and those who love you have left even reviews on the journal. One person says, "I love this journal. This journal is perfect for encouragement." Another person said, "I love this journal. It is so positive and hopeful, with plenty of space for me to keep my notes and reflection. Dr. Hunt found a simple way to share her positive messages of faith and help others to think deeply and to grow in faith." Again, 5 stars. Listen, 5 stars for you, Dr. Terri. Congratulations again on this, on just completing the task at hand. Listen, you've got some friends that's been posting. They've been blew up the chat. So let me just tell you, Miss Roshina Pickens, I think I said this right.
Lucinda,
Roshinda Pickens, right now, like she's your number one fan because she says, Amen. Yes, Dr. Hunt is such a blessing. Look at God. Yes. 5 stars. Yes. There's also a Miss Lori McGee who has indicated awesome. She made a few statements as well. She says, so proud of you, Dr. Terri Hunt,
thank you.
Miss
Thank
Lori
you.
McGee.
Thank you.
And then Miss ESP, Miss Sutter is a book reviewer, and she does book reviews, and she said she loves your book cover and title. And then she said, your voice alone, wow. You wanted to know, have you thought about an audiobook, and are you willing to narrate your book if you haven't done so? So that's another
Yes.
way in which you can transform your book into another format. And we could talk more about that if you ever are interested. But thank you, Miss Sutter. Now, if Miss Sutter
Thank you.
said your book cover looks good,
Thank
and
you.
she's a reviewer. And then we have a comment from a Miss Jernitha Fleming. Why do I feel like I'm messing up everybody's name? I apologize in advance, friends. It says, Bravo, Dr. Terri Hunt. That's the comment to her. That's the comment to you from Miss Jernitha Fleming. So listen, I don't know anything else I could say about the progress made in getting this book done. I mean, Dr. Terri went out of the country and just left me here in the United States and went on a cruise and everything while we were trying to get this project done. But we got it done. You've
Yes.
had your book signing, you've had something called Wine and Whispers. I think you leave in a few days for another location in Texas for to discuss your book. You've had something at the university, I believe, was it the
Yes.
University of Memphis, so that
Yes.
you had an opportunity to talk about your book. What else do you have
Yes.
upcoming?
Well, I am going to Fayetteville, North Carolina in December.
What? That's right. She's going to
Yes.
be here for our literary gala, and it's open for authors. I think you're bringing 2 or 3 friends and
I'm
family
bringing
members with you.
4 friends with me.
Oh, wow. So your table will be filled. You will have a table
Yes.
to yourself, basically. All right. So here's a comment from Mr. Alfonso Short, my husband. It says, very inspiring message. I look forward to reading the book since a copy is in my house, being the husband of Dr. Anissa Short. Yes, I have my own copy, you all, and I'm looking forward to her signing it when she gets here. I got the journal and the paperback copy myself as well. So I don't know what else to share, Dr. Terri, without going into the content of your book. But I will say, I will leave it for you. What would you want to say?
Well, I do have something coming up for my birthday, and it's we're gonna call it Books and Brunch.
Okay, that'll be in
Uh,
December.
yeah, that's going to be the last thing we do this year,
Okay, okay.
and that's going to be called Books and Brunch. And we haven't set a place yet, but they will be
It-
hearing from
It's
me.
coming soon. It'll be in
And
the
I have,
Memphis area.
yes, and I will have a special guest. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm at liberty to tell who the guest is or not.
Well, you could. It's your event.
Well, it's you coming. You're my special guest.
Oh
I'm
Lord,
sorry.
I thought you. I thought you were talking about someone else. Yeah, I'll be in the
I'm
Memphis
talking
area.
about
I will.
you.
I mean, I miss. Okay, you got me on that one. So here's the thing. As I said already, the Memphis area is my hometown, so I'll be already in the city we're in the I say Memphis metropolitan area, and so I'm looking forward to being there. We're gonna do books and brunch. So you've got the event in Texas this month, and then you've got December 7th here in Fayetteville, and you'll have an opportunity to meet Cyrus, and I can't wait to
Yes,
introduce you to him and vice versa. And then of course we'll be in Memphis, back in Memphis towards the end of December to
yes,
close out the year strong. And then it's no telling what 2025 may bring. So if
yes,
with that said, here's a question. Miss Sutter says your title is so intriguing. Why the title Whispering in the Dark? You want to tell that story? I guess we could tell them
yes,
that a little bit. Okay, tell
yes.
them.
I'm just going to tell a little bit.
Okay.
When I first met Jesus for myself, I've always known of him. I've always been to church. I was always in everything because that was my mother and father's. Hey, that's what you do. You can go to the American Legion Hall on Saturday night, but you're going to be in church at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. So I was sick in the hospital and I met a very special person. I'm not going to give it away because it's such an important part of the book. But she told me God was waiting to hear from me, and I needed to know God for myself. I needed to learn to communicate with God. And I said, well, how do I do that? She said, just speak to him like you're speaking to me. Speak from your heart. So when I got home and I remembered that I was supposed to be getting connected with God, and I remember I'm very young, I was afraid that if I saw him, I would be fearful. So what I did, I turned all the lights out. I covered all the lights on the TV, and then I put a towel at the bottom of the door. And then I said, God, are you here? How do I know you're here? And I would always whisper. I don't know why I always felt that I needed to whisper. Maybe I didn't want everybody else in the house to know what we were talking about, but I always whispered until I felt the presence of God. And whispering in the dark was because I was afraid if he showed up, I was going to be afraid. So if it was dark, I didn't have to see him, but I could hear him. So that's where the whisper in the dark came from. And I am still whispering today.
Still whispering in the
Still
dark.
whispering in the
All right.
dark.
So we've got a Miss Vicky Warren that has come on and left a message of congratulations, Dr. Hunt, on the success of your book. I am looking forward to reading my copy, and the journal is a thoughtful addition. And God bless and be well. Miss Vicky Warren, thank you so very much. And then Miss Pickens says the title is very captivating. I love your title.
Thank
She knew
you.
what her title was going to be. And then when she told me the story behind it, I was like, this is perfect. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's a book that's appropriate for anyone. It's not
Yes,
just for adults, young adults,
yes,
teenagers. Wouldn't you say so, Dr. Terri?
yes, very much so.
Yeah, so this will be good for you to give to, I would say, your teens, your maybe even your tweens, because it's a great way to introduce
Yes,
faith.
yes,
It's a great way to introduce the importance of relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a great way to introduce to people that even though life may happen to you, it doesn't have to hinder you in any way.
yes,
All things can work together for your good. It really
yes.
can. It can. Okay. Well, you all can grab your copy of Dr. Terry's book on Amazon. As already stated, it is an Amazon bestseller. We put it out there and then like boom, it took off. I'm excited for you, Dr. Terry. I think I
Thank
told you
you.
this is a transition in your life. I know you've retired at least once. You're in education now, pouring into the lives of our youth. But I believe because you wrote this book, and it's already evident of that, people want to hear your story. And so
Yes,
2025, I believe it's just going to be um, exponential growth. It's going to be more of what you've already experienced just in this little short window of the book being released. Any last words or comments you want to give to those who might be watching?
I just want to say no matter what you're going through, God is the answer. No matter what you feel like, God loves you. And just keep pushing, keep speaking, keep talking, and keep getting up.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, as a reminder, everyone, if you live in the Fayetteville area, you are welcome to attend our literary gala, Literary and Lifetime Achievement Gala. We're going to be recognizing authors. Dr. Terri will be here with her book. We will be issuing out or extending or awarding people Presidential Lifetime Achievement. It's a great way, and it's going to have a Christmas theme. So everything is going to be Christmas as far as decor and the spirit of Christmas, but we're going to be honoring authors as well as community leaders, people who have given of their time in community service. Don't forget, Dr. Terri's book is available on Amazon, and you can join us here every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Like, comment, and share. By all means, if you've watched this excerpt and you were inspired by the words of Dr. Terri and encouraged by what her book and the messaging her book, please share this video or this podcast broadcast to someone that you know. And don't forget to join us each and every week, as I said already, Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining Conversations with Chosen Pen. On behalf of Dr. Norma McLaughlin, the CEO of Chosen Pen, and our entire team, I am Dr. Anissa Short signing out, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care.